Hey drummers, Garey Williams here, and in my next reaction and analysis video, I'm going to be listening and looking at one of my favorite drummers, Chad Wackerman. This is a solo that he did. It's on the drum channel, and they're sharing it. So let's check out the great Chad Wackerman. Okay, I gotta stop right there. Very cool stuff. Checking out that left foot hi-hat. He's always got that sucker going. Sometimes he doesn't there at the end, but jacket de buka de triple jacket de 16th. I love how he floats between these different kinds of subdivisions. Then it sounds like he's almost going out like little fives and then quarter no triple to get all this beautiful ability to just sort of smoothly weave in and out of different subdivisions. This guy is so gifted at that. Okay, bada-bida-bida-bing. Okay, so 16th note triplets. Bada-bida-bida-bing. I love how he does 2-1-2, 1-2, 1-2 with that. Bada-bida-bida-bing. So it's really nice how he orchestrates those rhythms down the toms. So not only do they have an interesting rhythmic sound, but they have an interesting melodic shape at the same time. And then right there, some single drag taps and some double strokes mixed with singles, essentially. Yeah. Oh! Okay, bum, 5 5s. 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. Does this nice floaty kind of everything's over 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3. That kind of stuff he's doing. God, he just knows how to play all these different kinds of groupings in these different kinds of subdivision, and he always does this stuff with a nice melodic shape. Very musical approach to soloing. Yes! Love the flams. Tony Williams influence. Yes! I love that. He always managed to come up with an interesting way of reorchestrating the snare and kick patterns. Now he's soloing, but he's kind of groove soloing at this point. Got sort of a new theme happening here at this point, all within the same locked-in pulse. But how he displaces that snare and plays it on offbeats and doesn't play it where you expect it. So it has a very unpredictable, fresh, spontaneous sound. Very much the thing that Chad does. Kind of reminds me, reminiscent of early Bill Bruford work with Yes, where he pretty much approached that band as though it was a jazz band, but obviously not a swing feel. But his parts were very improvised and very not conventional. And that's what I love about Chad's playing. It's unpredictable. Did you guys check that out? Notice how he did the double strokes toward the edge of the drums, and then he brought in the accented strokes for rim shots. So he's very effective in using the different timbral or tonal colors of the snare head. He's not just playing everything in the middle with rim shots. He's actually exploring some of the different tonal aspects. Like if you played the tip of the stick versus the bell versus across the side versus the edge, all these different ways of getting different tonal colors out of the cymbals, he's creating that on the snare drum. His teacher was Murray Spivak. Amazing video by this guy. You got to check out that guy. Yo! Those are the left-hand flam exit. Very common thing that Tony Williams started. A lot of drummers picked up on it. Just sounds great, especially when you orchestrate the flams, the grace note, and the primary stroke between like a snare and a tom, and really bite with that rim shot. That crack of the rim shot is so essential to making that thing really bark. Yo! Some 5s and 7s in there, 6 strokes. Oh, bitty bitty. Double bass. 6-stroke rolls, bitty bitty. Oh! Okay, this is 16th little trip. So he's got this stuff where he's going, oh, here we go. And then, it's all in triplets, but he's shifting between 1 up and 2 down and 2 up and 2 down. So again, he's able to change different patterns, but stay in the same rhythmic subdivision, so it sounds super cool. Ooh, love the peaks and valleys. Ooh. Nice. So musical. Yes! Nice use of dynamics. Oh, quarter note triplets against the hi-hat 8th notes. Really, 8th note triplets. Whoa! Okay, that was so 1 up, 2 down, and that sort of little pattern that he did was based on triplets. God, so cool. Oh! Just like... Did you hear that? Great repetition. So he's creating like a song would, some hook lines to his solo in this particular part of the movement. Very beautiful. Dynamic use. Yes! Double bass. There's that 1 up, 2 down. Oh! Okay, that's like 4 up, 2 down, and 32nd notes. Mixing up those 4-note patterns, but mostly he's doing 6s, 4 up, 2 down, and he did it first in 16th little triples. Then that kind of really cool double bass work. So at the end, it just really cranks it out to the finale. I love his blend of cymbals and drums and the dynamic use. So he weaves in and out of freestyle, but there's always a sense of pulse with some displacement where he's soloing back into grooves, some peaks and valleys. God, this guy is so musical. He was the longest standing drummer that ever played with Frank Zappa. I got to see him with Frank Zappa years ago. It was amazing. Well, there it is. Okay, so we watched that solo. Let's talk a little bit more about the great Chad Wackerman, because God, he's one of my favorite drummers. I have a video on the YouTube channel called Spiritual Drumming Experiences, and he's one of the first guys I listened to that actually brought tears to my eyes. Now, I was moved by other drummers before him, but there's something about the way this guy played the drums that was unlike any other drummer I'd heard. And not only was his playing so amazing and creative, but how did he even think of it? I think I was equally impressed with his execution of his ideas, his ability to play things very cleanly. Always had great sounding drums, great sounding cymbals. But the way he came up with the ideas, I mean, it was like, where did he think of this stuff? Obviously, he comes from a very deep background. I think there's 3 Wackermans. There's Brooks Wackerman, Chad Wackerman, and maybe it's John Wackerman. I can't remember the third person's name. And they have a father who was a drummer. So what a great drum name, right? Wackerman. So one of my very favorite drummers. The first drummer I ever saw that used like a right sizzle hi-hat and like the stacked cymbal combination that became really popular with Terry Bozzio, and Dave Weckl was doing it. And of course, a lot of guys do it today where they would lay 2 cymbals, one on top of each other to create this gated thing. Well, he had like an 18-inch China with a 14-inch hi-hat top. And it had this really nice and it would get out of the way. So, and all this texture, he's really into the stacked cymbals. Really great sense of touch on the cymbals. I highly recommend any drummer serious about becoming a really virtuoso spend some time studying Chad Wackerman. I first became aware of his playing with this one album by Alan Holdsworth called Road Games, and that's when I first heard him and had this sort of like spiritual drumming experience, as I mentioned. But then I followed his career. He was on quite a few Alan Holdsworth albums. He's put out, I think, about 4 solo albums. And of course, he's played in different kinds of combinations with different groups over the years. And the guy is one of the greatest drummers, in my opinion. So definitely highly recommend you check out Chad Wackerman. Hope you enjoyed this video and my reaction, my analysis. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and like the channel, share it with your friends, and I'll see you on the next reaction video. Thanks. Bye-bye.